can I just say one thing firstly? I love the name Eat Sleep Boxing Repeat.
Welcome back to ESBR Boxing's YouTube channel. Delighted to be joined by international boxing news and boxing socials, Regan Slaymaker. Regan, thanks for joining me, mate. We're in final prediction mode for a real 50-50 clash in most people's eyes in Monaco this weekend. European Super Bantamweight title on the line. Shabaz Masoud, Peter McGrail. I can't wait for this one. I think it's a bit of a stacked card actually in Monaco as well. This, kind of epitomizing that in a superb main event. So I'm really, really looking forward to this one. And really looking forward to your prediction. So please do take it away and let me know your
Mm.
prediction from Masoud McGrail.
We just spoke briefly before we started the prediction. This is so much for 50-50 in my head. Every time I think if I'm going to say someone who's going to win, I change my mind immediately. Shabaz Masood is probably the favourite because of mainly the win against Liam Davis, and he hasn't beaten. He's a master technician. When he gets it right, he does have his blips. Shabazz Masood. I remember being ringside for the San Martin fight, and it wasn't the greatest of performances. But then he comes back against Liam Davies and makes Liam Davies, who isn't a wonderful fighter, and makes him look kind of relatively ordinary. Really good fighter, Shabazz Masood, kind of real technician, but so is Peter McGrail. Peter McGrail is one of the best amateurs ever to come out of this country. Probably a little bit more aggressive than Shabazz, and that might be his downfall in the fight. Could be, but he's also very evasive as well. But yeah, like I mentioned, McGrail's has that blip against Jericho Quinn, but people forgetting boxing's going to be boxing. He was completely outdoing O'Quinn until he walks onto a shot. But then his last win against Iron at Baluta was really good. I thought he looked really good. How it was a majority decision, I have no idea. But yeah, I don't, Paul. Honestly, I probably have to lean towards Shabazz, but I just had a look at his box rec. He hasn't fought in over a year. His last fight was that Liam Davies win. McGrail fought Baluta on the Yafai Rodriguez undercard, which was a while ago in itself, but a year out the ring for Shabazz isn't that good when you're going in against someone as good as Peter McGrail. Really good fight. I think this is going to be one for the purists as well. I can't see it being a Gatti Ward. I can see it being quite a technical affair. But it'll be really good for pure boxing fans. It's going to be a great fight. I don't know how much more I can say on that. Paul, how are you seeing it? Because you probably have to lean towards Masood, but McGrail isn't an underdog at all. It's a pure 50-50 in my eyes.
Yeah, I completely agree. I see it as a pure 50-50 as well. Think you've made some really good points. One being the inactivity of Shabazz
Mm.
Masoud. You'd think coming off a career best win against Liam Davies, you'd want to, strike while the iron's hot, so to speak. And unfortunately, maybe through no fault of his own, hasn't been able to quite do that. So that does worry me slightly. But then you look at Peter McGrail. Yeah, you're right. Looked good last time out in beating Beluda. We all know from these shores the trouble Beluda can cause. And I think Peter McGrail
Yeah.
dealt with him fairly comfortably. In saying that, the Reece Edwards one before, I think I didn't expect that to be as competitive as it was, given that it was on a couple of days' notice. Um, just
I
because of the
don't,
notice thing, I thought Peter McGrail was
I
probably going to
yeah.
do
I think it was
better.
the weight as well. Sorry to interrupt you, Paul. Like I think it was at super feather. Like I looked at the weights, like it was two weights above. McGrail kind of went, I still want to fight on this card. I'm not giving up a pay packet just because Dennis McCann's tested positive for something. I'm not having my opportunity taken away. Um, I scored that fight to McGrail. It was a close fight, and he done really well to deal with someone in his two weights division, and also a good fighter in Reece Edwards. But it's like one of those things. If it was at 122 on a level playing field, I think McGrail probably would have done a little bit better against Reece Edwards. But yeah, though I think the weight was a big part in that fight because Reece Edwards is a big featherweight, and McGrail is probably a super bantamweight through and through, if that makes
Yeah,
sense.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
one hundred
yeah. Sorry,
percent.
continue.
No, you make a good point. I just thought I would highlight it, as you said. Obviously, different, completely different weight class. But just, and I think I understand, obviously, a bigger guy, Reece Edwards, but kind of coming at it from the point of view of the fact that it was a couple of days' notice. I personally thought he was going to win by a stoppage. That fight, McGrail made it. But then, as you said, I suppose, I know he'd been preparing for someone completely different. So then you're like, fair play, you did just beat someone, a completely different fighter on a couple of days' notice. You can look at it that way as well. So you could look at it as a positive. I am just like you, leaning towards Shabaz Masoud. I think it's, as you said, you took the words out of my mouth when you said it's going to be one for the purists. I think it's going to go the distance. I think it's going to be either way. If we're both wrong and Peter McGrail gets his hand raised, one, will not be surprised, and two, I think it'll be like a 7-5 either way, an 8-4 max. Like I see both fighters winning rounds, or being one of those fights where like you could give every round a 10-10, but obviously you don't want to do that. You want to pick a winner in each round. I think it will be a very close fight. And that just goes to show you the quality of fight that we're talking about here. It is a great fight. It's a great main event. European title, worthy European title fight. And yeah, the winner for me will be Shabaz Masoud. So I'll go Masoud via decision. But I do think, we'll caveat that by saying, do not be one bit surprised if Peter McGrail wins. It is a real 50-50. I might even change my mind before we get to Saturday. Who knows? But yeah, it's a really, really good fight, mate, and I'm looking forward to it. I appreciate you coming on, Regan, and giving your thoughts on the
No
fight.
worries, mate.
You and our predictions are aligned here, guys. In the comments, let us know your thoughts. I'd say that we're going to get varied opinions here because a lot of people, as we've said, it's a 50-50. So I imagine a whole lot of people have completely contrasting opinions on the fight. So let us know your thoughts. And as always, if you're not doing so already, please do subscribe to the YouTube channel. Regan, thanks very much for joining me, mate. I'll speak to you again.
Cheers, mate.